What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on CGFIX. We got a 2007 Nissan Altima 2.5 liter, and we're replacing the valve cover. We're also doing the coils. So there is a pretty amount of good things that you need to remove before you get to this cover. First thing I want to talk about is the motor mount. This whole piece right here has to get removed in order to get access to the valve cover. Other things I need to get removed would be this wiring right here, plugs, coils, this hose right here, and sometimes they do take the intake out. A customer did start to take the intake out, but I don't believe we have to, because if I just remove it from here, I should have all the access possible to just remove the valve cover itself. And the reason why we're replacing the valve cover here is because he has a leak that goes into the spark plugs, and then it causes him to have like a misfire. As you can see, it's oily. They did require the parts here, or gave me the parts to install, and they bought the whole cover, because these right here are internally, so they're plastic, so these are internal. The only way to really replace them, if you want to, which I wouldn't recommend at all whatsoever, is because you have to cut this out and then put the new O-rings and then somehow get it so it won't leak again. So instead of doing all that, get yourself a whole cover and save yourself a headache from having to do this job again because you have a leak after replace everything new, because you have to break this open to just put that the O-rings there. So just get the whole gasket. Comes with the valve cover and the seals right there for the spark plugs, and you won't have an issue with leaking. So other things that you need to remove, like I said, this right here I don't believe you have to, because like I said, all this, the valve covers are all over here, but as we're working on the car, we'll see if we have to or not later on. And we're gonna get right to it with the parts and stuff you need to remove. This also, oh yeah, let me not forget this. You have to remove this out the way to get to this bolt. Remove this motor mount as well. And if there's anything else throughout the video, I'm just gonna go through it and then just show you everything you need to do just to replace it. You can save yourself a couple dollars, go to a local shop. You could be your own little self-mechanic. And with that being said, I'll show you the part numbers. Part number, if you're just replacing the valve cover, if you don't have a leak to the spark plugs and you just have a valve cover leak and you need the gasket, I believe they got it at AutoZone or Advanced. No, I think it's AutoZone. O'Reilly's. I don't know. Anyways, that's VS50777R. And then for the valve cover itself, Dorman 264773. And again, the valve cover comes with the valve cover gasket and the seals, the rubber seals. So you don't have to worry about buying that separately if you just buy the whole thing in one. All right, with that being said, let's get started, get all the tools ready, and get this car. Oh, you're also gonna need a jack. Don't forget that, because you're gonna need a jack for this. And let's get started with the video. All right, guys, so this video right here, I accidentally recorded it slow-mo, so the audio sounds ridiculous. So what I'm explaining here is that the first thing you should do is remove the terminal from the battery. You don't want anything, going shorted or any connections, especially with these cables are so fragile. They're really fragile, so really be careful with these wires, cables, plugs, everything. And I'm basically just explaining that you have to remove this whole cable wiring where the connectors are for the ignition coils to the alternator. And basically, yeah, the alternator has a nut that's a 13 millimeter or 14, I believe it was, and then you have a connector, a plug that goes to the alternator. So basically I'm just explaining to remove this whole wiring. Come here. So you got the spark plug coils. There is 10 millimeter bolts that the customer already removed, so you're gonna go ahead and remove these 10 millimeter bolts. And then after you remove the 10 millimeter bolts, you're gonna go ahead and you actually can take the plug out first, just so it doesn't dance around or move around on you. But just be careful you don't, these cables are real fragile. As you can see this cable right here is real fragile there. You don't want to break that. So I suggest just taking out the plug before you take out the 10 millimeter bolts here. All right, and I'm just gonna remove all this, do a time lapse, and then show you once everything's done. Boys, so after you have removed this loom right here, just be careful, okay, that you don't pull too much, because you still got to remove this wiring right here to the injectors, and these wires are real thin and you can easily rip them off. Now I know exactly why they say to remove this right here, because of those plugs, but I believe that I can get away with not removing that if I gently just take my time, take a flathead, some pliers, needle nose pliers, and just remove these wires, the plugs, and also they're clipped on here. So you see those clips there and there. If you just take some pliers, take the clips out, you know, remove everything gently, you should be able to get all that wiring and lift it up, bring it this way. But just be careful, because these wires are real thin, and anything's cracking and breaking, you're gonna have to replace plugs. So if you don't want to remove this, I mean, if you do want to remove it to make your job much easier, it's all up to you. But there's just so much else to remove, like back there, and so much to remove. I'm just trying to save you some time, and I've done this job before and I didn't remove this either. I don't remember. I don't know. I did not remove this. I didn't remove this at all either. Now that I think about it, I did the same exact job. I think it was like 4 months ago. I don't think I got a video for it. But with that being said, we're gonna do another time lapse, and we're just gonna remove this wiring, and I'll show you kind of little tips of here and there. And as you can see, look at these coils. These coils were dripping in oil, as you can see. Look at that. Probably half a quart in those, you know. Look, this thing, these three were full covered. This one just has like humid, a little bit of oil, not too much. But all the other three are just covered, caked up in oil. And as you can see, the oil, look, it's broken. It's actually, look, it's moving. So the seal right here is like moving all over the place. Same thing with this one, and same thing with this one. This one, same thing with this one. So they're all like moving. And that's where we're replacing it. This oil, caked up oil everywhere. So we're gonna keep going, and the next step we're doing is just this right here, and bring this whole wiring this way. Boys and girls, we are doing some progress on these plugs right here. So basically what I'm doing is using a flathead to push on the pin, like on the actual clip, I mean the clip part, and then using the other one as a pry bar. So I'm pushing in and prying out, pushing in and prying out. And then this one I was able to just push in and then use my hand and actually push it up. Now the last one over there, I have to remove this out the way. So I have to remove this whole motor mount in order to get that last one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the jack under the car on this side of the engine, and hold that support so I can remove all these right here. 1, 2, 3. There should be another one here, but it's not. You have to remove this, yep, this right here, these right here, this one right here. So basically all the bolts that hold on this bracket, and as well the one that goes to the motor mount over here. All right, and then you also have to remove this bolt right here. So you have to remove this reservoir. So these 10 need to get removed so you can push the reservoir out the way, and you can get access to this bolt. If not, you're never gonna get to that bolt. And then after that, yep, you should be able to remove this part. Oh yeah, look, there's another one over here, and another one over here. All right, so remove those bolts, and I don't think you have to take it out from here, because once you take out this bolt right here, this piece should just come right up. And we're gonna do a time lapse on that, and then we'll come back. So after you remove all these bolts and remove this bracket, so as you can see the bolt right here, you don't really have to remove it all the way out. You can just leave it there, you know, so you won't lose it. And once you remove that bolt right there, then, you know, that whole piece comes out after you remove all those other bolts. Now you have access to this beautiful plug right here. That's the last plug, and you don't have to remove none of that right there. Because I know a lot of videos I've seen, and a lot of people, and also the customer was telling me about, that's why he started removing the air intake, because they say to remove this for what? For the what? If you got the space, what did I hear? You know what I'm saying? You know, so you know, she likes it sometimes easy, you know. Anyways, I'm just trying to save you some time, and also costly, expensive repair. So anyways, you could remove it now. This plug right here, I'm gonna remove that. Then tuck this wiring over there. After that, it's just, you got the valve cover. You got the whole world to work with. Let me give you a beautiful angle. Look at that. Look at all the space we got now. So now that we got everything moved out the way, You know, you got this out the way. I don't have a bungee cord right now at the moment. But anyways, this bolt won't bother me too much because I just swoop and then take it out. So the next thing we're gonna do is remove all these 10mm bolts. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's all I see. There's none in the middle nowhere. And then also it's also good to have the new part, because then you can see how many you have to remove. So I think I probably missed one. I think I missed this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I don't know, 12 or 13. But listen, just remove all the bolts around the valve cover, and then it's just a matter of prying it out, removing it out.
Yo, check it. Your boy CGFIX putting in that work. That work. Look at him using tools, bro. Look at them hands. Yeah, putting in that work, baby.
Wow. So you can see, look at the rubber grommets in there, the little seals. You see that? All of them. Look at this. Oh, where's the camera? As you can see, it's all brittle. Look at that. Brace in pieces. So yeah, that was bad. And also the valve cover, let me put the camera back. The valve cover gasket, man, this thing is like, man, it looks like they replaced the valve cover gasket, but they never replaced the valve cover itself. So the seals were the old ones, and this is the new one, you know, or recent. But this thing is like stuck in there. Like I gotta use a flathead right now. I'm gonna do it live right now real quick to see. Try not to get anything in the engine bay. I'm just trying to get a little lip here. There we go. All right, and then just pull it out. Oh, all right, let me see. I'll do it all by hand now. Oh my God, this thing is stuck there. Holy moly. Jeez Louise, that was stuck in there. All right, so next thing we're gonna do, let me stop the camera real quick so I can clean my hands up and then show you what's the next step. Look at this beautiful engine. This engine has been taken care of, you can tell, because look how clean all these cams and everything in here looks. So it's been well properly maintained. Good job, customer. All right, other than that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a gen, like a blade, and we're gonna go ahead and scrape off all this old residue gasket. Dude, they put gasket maker throughout almost the whole thing. That's probably it was stuck. But anyways, we're gonna scrape it off, make it shiny, brand new looking, you know, and before you install the new valve cover. We're just cleaning. You know, be careful you don't really scorch this, you know, don't scorch it or scratch it or whatever. And try not to get it inside the engine. You know, I should have covered. I'm gonna cover this actually right now. Be careful you don't really scorch this head. Just kind of just gently remove all this old gasket maker and stuff, and try not to get it in the engine as much as you can. Put a rag or something over the head, and just kind of, you're gonna be here for like 10 minutes. Well, I'm gonna be here for 20, because this thing, they loaded it up with a gasket maker, man. They had fun with it. You know, isn't there a video goes, and here the mechanic with the what the hell, the gasket maker or something, I don't freaking know. Anyways, we're gonna be here for a little bit, so I'll just show you guys after it's cleaned. I'll be back. Regardless of how I clean it or not, that's basically how you do it. So with that being said and everything I just said, and I hope I showed you how to remove your valve cover, it's just literally putting everything back the way you took it out. Again, unfortunately I couldn't show you all this stuff, which you don't need to remove anyway, so just do what I did, and you don't have to remove none of that. And you got all the world and space to mess with here once you take this bracket off. And yeah, if you learn anything in this video, give it a like, share it to somebody who might enjoy watching car content, or they want to work on their own car, or they want to fix cars for a living, or they want to just save themselves a couple dollars, or yourself. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. I appreciate you guys for following me, subscribing. We're almost at 3,000 followers. We're almost there. I think we only need like 80 more subscribers to get there, and we're on the road to 3,000. And again, just a quick tip, if for some reason your car is misfiring, you get any check engine light codes for misfiring cylinder 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it might be that you're getting oil on your coils or spark plugs. As you can see how bad that was. So with that being said, guys, I appreciate you guys watching. Much love, your boy CGFIX, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Deuces. This one's gonna go out to those people who are gonna say, oh, he cut the video short because he didn't clean the edge. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. This thing is smooth as butter. As you see how much gasket maker there was all around. You know, I took a blade and then I wire brushed as much as I could, and and this is all flush and even. It just looks defaded, you know. I'm gonna go more and more later on. So yeah, I want to hear it. It's all around. If you see it before and then after, Yeah, when it's all clean. So for the people gonna say, oh, you ain't clean it, you ain't clean it, he's gonna slap everything back on, you know? Sure, buddy. That's the type of job I do, right? It's always a hater.